Hey, what's up guys? MKBHD here, and today we're tackling a topic that's more relevant than ever before: cybersecurity. Welcome back to CyberStation, where we break down the biggest stories in tech and digital life. Today we're diving deep into the digital trenches to explore a world that's often hidden from view, but affects us all in ways we might not even realize. Cyber attacks aren't just movie plot lines anymore. They're real, they're happening every day, and their impact is growing at an alarming rate. From ransomware shutting down hospitals to data breaches exposing millions of people's private information, these attacks are reshaping our world. In just the past decade, we've seen hacks escalate from isolated incidents to massive, coordinated global events. No one is immune. Governments, corporations, small businesses, and even regular people at home have all become targets. The stakes have never been higher. We're talking about billions of dollars lost, threats to national security, and the erosion of personal privacy. The consequences of these attacks ripple through economies, governments, and our daily lives. So today we're counting down the top 10 cyber attacks that shocked the world in 2026. Incidents that forced us to rethink everything we know about security, technology, and how we protect ourselves online. Let's jump right in and see how these events changed the digital landscape forever. First up, the SolarWinds hack. Hackers slipped malicious code into a routine software update, compromising SolarWinds' supply chain and gaining backdoor access to over 18,000 organizations, including the US government. Sensitive emails and confidential documents were exposed, and the breach went undetected for months. This attack proved that if you can hack the supply chain, you can hack the world. The fallout forced companies everywhere to rethink cybersecurity from the ground up. Trust in software updates was shattered. The SolarWinds hack didn't just make headlines, it changed the rules of the game. WannaCry was the ransomware attack that shocked the world and changed the way we think about cybersecurity forever. In May 2017, news broke of a massive cyber attack spreading like wildfire across the globe, affecting organizations in nearly every country. Exploiting a critical Windows vulnerability, WannaCry moved with unprecedented speed, locking out hundreds of thousands of computers in over 150 countries within just a few days. Hospitals, businesses, and government agencies were paralyzed, surgeries were canceled, patient records became inaccessible, and critical files were lost, putting lives and livelihoods at risk. The financial impact was staggering, with losses estimated in the billions of dollars, but the disruption to daily life and essential services was even more devastating. WannaCry exposed just how dangerous it can be to ignore software updates and security patches, especially for organizations relying on outdated systems. The vulnerability that WannaCry exploited had actually been patched by Microsoft months earlier, but countless computers remained unprotected because updates weren't installed in time. After WannaCry, the word ransomware entered everyday conversations, and people everywhere began to realize that cyber threats could impact anyone, anywhere. The attack was a wake-up call for the digital age, a stark reminder that being connected brings incredible opportunities, but also very real risks that we all must take seriously. NotPetya took the lessons from WannaCry and turned them destructive. Disguised as ransomware, its real goal was to wipe out data, crippling companies like Maersk, FedEx, and Merck. Losses topped $10 billion, but the real damage was to global supply chains and business continuity. NotPetya erased entire networks, leaving companies to rebuild from scratch. Ships stranded, deliveries delayed, operations halted. This was a digital hurricane. The attack forced businesses to take backup systems and disaster recovery seriously. NotPetya proved a cyber attack could bring the world's biggest companies to their knees. In 2017, Equifax, one of the largest credit reporting agencies in the world, suffered a catastrophic data breach that exposed the sensitive personal information of over 147 million people. This wasn't just another cyber attack, it was a wake-up call for the entire world about the dangers of storing so much private data in one place. Names, social security numbers, birth dates, addresses, and even some driver's license numbers were stolen. Almost half the US population was affected. For many, this meant their most personal details were suddenly at risk, with no way to take them back. The fallout was immediate and severe. Millions faced the threat of identity theft and financial fraud, scrambling to freeze their credit and monitor their accounts. The breach triggered a massive loss of trust in how companies protect our data, leaving people feeling vulnerable and exposed. Lawsuits piled up, and regulators around the world took notice. The breach helped spark new conversations about data privacy, leading to tougher regulations like the European Union's GDPR and stricter rules in the US, all aimed at holding companies more accountable for protecting our information. Equifax's reputation was shattered overnight. The company faced public outrage, congressional hearings, and ultimately paid out hundreds of millions of dollars in settlements to affected consumers. Their failure became a cautionary tale for businesses everywhere. The Equifax breach spotlighted just how vulnerable our personal data is in the digital age. It showed that even the biggest companies can fall victim to cyber attacks, and that the consequences can be devastating for millions. In the end, this incident changed the conversation about privacy forever, making people more aware of the risks and pushing companies and lawmakers to take data protection much more seriously. Stuxnet was a game-changer, a worm designed to physically sabotage Iran's nuclear centrifuges in 2010. It was the first malware to cause real-world destruction, blurring the line between digital and physical warfare. Stuxnet operated undetected for months, showing the world that cyber attacks could be as destructive as bombs. Believed to be created by the US and Israel, it sparked a global cyber arms race. After Stuxnet, nations everywhere ramped up their cyber capabilities. It was a warning. The next big conflict might start in a server room. The Yahoo breaches remain the largest in internet history. Over 3 billion accounts compromised between 2013 and 2014. Names, emails, phone numbers, and security questions were stolen, fueling massive phishing and identity theft. Yahoo's slow response and delayed disclosure made things worse, eroding user trust. The company's value plummeted before its sale to Verizon. This breach was a lesson in transparency and the importance of quick action. It reminded everyone that no company is too big to be hacked. The Yahoo breaches changed how we think about online privacy. The Sony Pictures hack in 2014 was straight out of a thriller. Hackers leaked confidential emails, unreleased films, and employee data, allegedly in response to the movie The Interview. Sony pulled the film, and the leaks damaged careers and trust within the company. The US government accused North Korea, marking a new era of nation-state attacks on private companies. The hack exposed deep vulnerabilities in corporate security. It showed that cyber attacks can be personal, targeting reputations as much as data. The Colonial pipeline ransomware attack in 2021 shut down the largest fuel pipeline in the US, causing panic and shortages. People lined up at gas stations, hoarding fuel as prices spiked. Colonial paid nearly $5 million to regain control, exposing the vulnerability of critical infrastructure. The attack was traced to the DarkSide group and forced a national reckoning on infrastructure security. Cybersecurity became a national security issue overnight. Colonial Pipeline proved a single attack can disrupt an entire country. In 2013, Target's data breach compromised over 40 million customers' card information. Hackers got in through a third-party vendor, then installed malware on point-of-sale systems during the holiday rush. The breach led to fraudulent charges, millions of cards reissued, and a CEO resignation. It highlighted the risks of third-party security gaps. Retailers responded with chip cards and better fraud detection. The Target breach was a turning point for retail cybersecurity. Marriott's breach exposed the data of up to 500 million guests over 4 years. Hackers accessed names, passport numbers, and encrypted credit card info, affecting travelers worldwide. The breach highlighted how much sensitive data hotels collect and how valuable it is to criminals. Marriott faced lawsuits, fines, and a massive loss of trust. The incident spurred new data protection regulations, especially in travel and hospitality. Companies began reviewing security during mergers and acquisitions. Marriott's breach was a wake-up call. No company is too global to be immune. Those were 10 cyber attacks that changed the world. As we move deeper into the digital age, protecting your information is more critical than ever. Anyone can be a target, corporations or regular people. Stay informed, keep your devices updated, and use strong passwords. Which attack shocked you most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay safe out there.